And we're back. I was seeing which one of us was going to start. I was like, "Are you going to say it? Am I going to say it?" Like,
I mean, either one.
we're so silly. Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the next episode of A Conversation with Kely. This is episode 56. Of course, continuing our coverage of this season of Survivor 41. This episode was kind of interesting, Allie. We had a merge, sort of. And
I will say it was good, but I wish it was a 2-hour episode instead of like leaving us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. This is we'll get more into what ended up happening and things like that. But yeah, this is basically half of an episode. This doesn't really feel like a complete episode. There isn't a ton to talk about because a lot of it is just build up for the next one. So we can speculate what's going to happen, but there isn't, it's kind of like the episode of Ascendance, that we watched where it's like, there wasn't a lot happening, but at least with that, like, it was like, we did the comp and then the next episode was all the strategy. This was like, we're going to give you a little bit of comp, a little bit of strategy, and we're going to throw this twist to you. It's like, why are we doing just one episode? Like, they could have easily done 2 episodes. Who gives a fuck about Tough as Nails? Seriously, who gives a fuck? I don't know many people. So like, you could easily just like put that on a Saturday when nobody's watching and just add another hour to Survivor. And I don't think anyone would have complained. Like, but as it stands, this episode was pretty uneventful, and I think it's fulfilling. I think it's fitting that we don't have a guest for this episode. We were supposed to have someone on, but we're going to have them next week, hopefully. So, yeah, we'll just get into this episode overall. So we're going to start off with as usual, what we get with the tribes. We get probably the most eventful part, at least in terms of like drama in this episode, just right in the beginning. I think that the first like 5 to 6 minutes of this episode were legitimately really great. And I thought it had some really riveting stuff to it. So I think we'll just get right into it. Basically, we do see the Uwa tribe, and basically they are, we see the Uwa tribe, and, they're now coming back from their last tribal, and basically Shan talks about how hard this vote really was for her. And Ricard brings up how shocked Genie seemed, and Shan says that Genie brings her back to who she is in real life, but she needs someone like Ricard to pull her back to the strategic side of things. However, she's really starting to feel doubtful about his word. He brings up how annoyed he was with her asking him to give her the extra vote when he really has nothing, which that is a good point. He doesn't really have anything besides that extra vote. I think that is definitely like a pretty good point to bring up for sure. And she says that it feels like he claimed it as his own. He said he could have had the idol, but didn't. She wanted all the power in her hands. And she asks what exactly he risks. And she tells him how much that she's been on his side the whole time. And I like what she did here. I think she did a good job of like showing him like, I'm on your side. Like, I'm not trying to turn on you.
Oh, yeah.
He's just, honestly, you want my honest opinion? I think he's scared of her. I do. I think he's scared of Shan. I think he's realized that he's allied with someone that's as good as Shan, and now he's worried that she's going to take him out when she has never said those words to anyone. She has never campaigned against Ricard.
I feel like he's
just anything.
I feel like he just maybe thinks she's too connected and stuff, and like thinks that she'll flip on him.
But the people she's connected to are out of the game. So like, because she talks about Brad and JD, how like she was deflecting his name from both of them. And it still seems like he's not really feeling great about her having all this power. So the next morning, she still asks him for the extra vote back. She brings up how he's been her number one since day one and should trust her word no matter what. And again, it seems like he's starting to feel otherwise. How do you feel about Ricard? Because I honestly feel like, for me, this is seeming like this is his downfall. I feel like we're getting to that point. I don't think
I do really like him. I do really like him, but yeah, like you said, I kind of echo that it's kind of his downfall. So like, I feel like
to me, this edit felt like it's the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna make it. He'll probably be one of the next few boots for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that he's a really good what I like about Ricard is that he's not the kind of player that's going to just like sit there and like watch other people run things. But the problem is, like, when you have someone like Shan who has gone to bat for you every single time, like when I have a conversation with someone like that, any sort of doubt that I have that they don't have my back, you know, pretty much just like washes away afterwards. Like I don't really think of anything, you know, I don't really think otherwise after I've had this conversation with them. But it seems like Ricard, he's just so insistent on the fact that like she's going to betray me. She's doing the same thing with Brad and JD, but the difference is like she wasn't as close with Brad. She wasn't as close with JD. She's been tight with Ricard since day one. I just don't know why he's feeling this way. So yeah, I gotta agree with you. I really do think this is the beginning of the end for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes like very soon. I don't think he's going yet, but I think he's probably going in the next like 2 weeks.
Next couple weeks or so.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he has much game left in him. Well, I think Shan just in general like has built a better path for herself to the end. I don't really think Ricard has done so. Yeah, but that's everything with Uwa. Like I said, I think the most exciting stuff happened right in the beginning. We get some stuff with the other tribes. Not much to it. You can talk about it.
All right, with Yasa, they wake up to tree mill and assume a merge is coming. Liana brings up how much trust that she has with the three women and wants to keep up this facade to keep Xander in a good place, but knows he's a huge threat now with so many advantages, and she feels like it may be a good time to take him out since he doesn't see her as a threat.
How do you feel about the beef between like Xander and Liana?
I feel like it's kind of ridiculous. Like I don't dislike him, but she's playing a very low-key, under-the-radar game.
Oh, yeah. She's been very UTR.
She's got a very good social game, and she's very under the radar. So, and also, this was, like, the episode that I think gave her kind of, like, a winner at it.
I think so, too. I think this is definitely the most of Liana we've seen in the entire show so far. Where I'm at with this is that I think Xander, you know, needs to not focus on going after Liana, especially if they're going to emerge. Like, you should want your tribe to have your back. You should want to try to stay loyal to your tribe, especially at this point of the game. Like, there's no reason to not want that. So I don't know why he's so, like, insistent about, I want Liana out. I want her out of here. Like, I think that's really going to end up fucking him over. I've heard people say, and I just don't understand this, that Xander's getting to, like, the end of this game. Like, he's going to be someone that's, like, at the end. Like, he's, like, the person, like, that everyone beats. I really don't think he's making it that far. I think Liana is a smart enough player to know that she needs to take him out soon. So I don't see him going that much further.
Yeah, I feel like he can leave pretty quickly. He'll probably leave pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I also just don't think he's very good at Survivor, and I think he continues to prove that.
I mean, I don't even dislike him as a person.
I don't either. He's, like, very entertaining to watch. I just don't think he's, like, a good strategist.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
All right, over on Luvu, they receive tree mail, and Sydney talks about how difficult it actually is to be a winning tribe since they don't have any solidified alliances as they've never been tribal.
Oh, boo fucking who.
Ugh. I don't like her.
I know. Every time she opens her mouth, I'm like, literally cut to anyone else.
Naseer feels they can easily run the game from this point forward and get together as a 6. Deshawn says that they should at least stick together for a couple of votes aside from the vote shifting.
Honestly, like, we don't deserve Naseer. Naseer is just, like, such a nice guy, and he wants to keep everyone united. He wants to keep everyone together. Like I said, he's literally playing a different game from the rest of the tribe. And to be honest, I honestly think it's working for him. I think if he keeps up this charade of like, which I don't think it's a charade, I think he generally feels this way. I think if he keeps up this mentality of like, we need to stick together. I'm going to be a number for you. I want to vote with you. Like, I think that's going to be really good. I think he just needs to get the fuck away from the rest of his tribe because they don't feel that way at all.
I feel like if he teamed up with like Shan and Liana, it'd be iconic.
Yes. Yeah, I think he literally, I think Naseer's in a position where.
Also Evvie.
Yeah, I think Naseer's in a position where he can branch off from the rest of his tribe. I'm not really sure if the rest of his tribe can do that. Like, I feel like Danny and Deshawn are like a very tight duo. I don't think they're probably going to cross each other at any point. I feel like Sydney has some allies, but not many. I don't know where the fuck Heather is because she's not on the show. And then Erika, we'll talk a little bit about. But
Heather, like, Heather's so nice, but she just hasn't gotten any edit.
I know literally nothing about her. And I have to assume that she's not making it that much farther, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, when it comes to Naseer,
maybe she'll get something else. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to Naseer, I feel like he's really the one person in Luvu that's probably going to do like really well and not, because I honestly do see this tribe being pagoned. I do see that happening for Luvu.
Same.
They're unstoppable at this point. They want to take each other out so badly. I don't see them getting that much farther. Like, I think it's going to be like a Sydney and Deshawn or something crazy like that.
Yeah, Sydney is just so unlikable.
Yeah, Sydney's unlikable. And I enjoy like a good majority of Luvu. I just feel like no one's really been playing that well except for Naseer. So
yeah,
I mean, Danny's played well too. He's been very loyal to his tribe, but I think he's a little too gung-ho about, we got to get out the women because the men, they're going to run things and they got to, take out the men. It gives me Derek F vibes, but like not as annoying. So like,
true.
And I just don't think that's gonna work out for him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But getting to the merge here, which I have merge in parentheses because it's not exactly the kind of merge that we're used to. So basically, Jeff lets in on the fact that this will be a 2-part episode and nobody will be going home tonight. So essentially, it's a worthless episode. Thank you, Jeff. But so the way this is actually going to go is that a big challenge is going to be run, and when it's over, a group will believe they're safe, but they will be forced to send one player away. However, they will give said player a big amount of power. What do you think about this? Do you like this twist? Do you like that it's a little different?
I mean, it's very different. This season definitely has a ton of powers. Like,
some would say too many.
I don't hate powers. It's just
no.
I want people to use them when they like really need to.
But I also like the game just being in its natural state. I also like that,
Yeah, I like when it's just like the regular game. But I mean, powers are definitely needed sometimes if you're like at the bottom or something.
Yeah, I think there's definitely powers that like people need. Like, I would definitely say, Xander needs that idol right now. I would definitely say that. I would definitely say Liana probably is going to benefit from the power that she has, but I just think there's too many fucking powers right now, and I don't think there's any other way to slice it. So when it comes to this specific merge, like the way they're handling it, I think it's really different and it's really creative, and it gets them to like kind of test their limits a bit. I don't really think we know how it's going to go until it plays out tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night we will know either this worked or this was a total flop. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be anything else. I think it's either going to be really good or it's going to be like a terrible twist, but I guess we'll see what really comes of it. But basically, he meets with all the castaways and he explains, what's really going on. They aren't exactly merged yet. And so they're divided up into 2 teams, and they're going to have to dig up this massive boulder, push it through a series of obstacles, which I would not be able to touch that boulder for the life of me. I don't know how the fuck they were able to lift that thing. But like, I know. Seriously, I mean, I cannot understate enough.
Honestly, like to do all these challenges, we have to like really be in shape.
Yeah, a fucking big ass boulder. No, that is not something I would do well with. But yeah, so basically, when they get to the top of the tower, they are to use those keys to unlock a puzzle. The first team to finish will win their first proper meal in 2 days, and that will earn them their buff, and they won't have to participate in the first individual immunity challenge. However, the losing team will have no proper meal or buff and will have to participate in the individual immunity challenge. However, there is an additional layer to this twist because 2 players are going to draw gray rocks, and they will not participate in the challenge at all, and their fate will be decided by the winning team. I don't like this part. I don't like this part at all. I feel like it's basically.
Yeah, I wasn't really crazy about that part either. I wasn't really crazy about it either.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like, oh, we're at the merge, but not really, and two of you need to sit out. I don't really like that idea at all. I don't like the way that it's structured. I don't like that one of them gets to be a part of the merge and one of them doesn't. I just don't think it's very well structured. I think there was a way to do this in a way that didn't feel unfair, and I don't know how, but this just does not feel fair to me. Like, I just don't like the way this is done.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very well.
Yeah, it'd be different if it was like a few people, aren't going to be able to participate in this challenge, but two people, I just don't understand why they went about it this way. But basically, Erika and Naseer draw what?
I was just saying, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, and I thought it was honestly, I will say, I did think it was really funny that both of them that drew the rocks were Luvu because they're so used to sitting out of challenges already. So True. Erika and Naseer actually sit out of this challenge and they will not participate at all. So the two teams of 5 are as follows. On yellow, we have Shan, Liana, Tiffany, Heather, and Xander. And on blue, we have Evvie, Ricard, Sydney, Danny, and Deshawn. I feel like I'm reading notes for a sentence because we're talking about teams right now. But we get to the actual immunity. Jeff does ask Liana how she feels about this, and she gives a quote that I feel like is definitely going to be part of her winners edit, where she's like, when Liana's hungry, she fights hard. And I'm like, yes, I feel like this is really the birth of us seeing Liana really get to play the game. She's been very low-key up to this point, but I feel like Liana is going to be one of those people that like really comes out of this merge and like really starts to like, play a very dominant game. Like I think she's going to be a pretty big character moving forward. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, definitely. You picked the right women. You picked the right two people for your draft at work. I think it's going to go in your favor.
I know. Well, it's like survivor pool, and you have to pick a piece of paper, and I was like, I feel good vibes about this one, and I got the 2 that I wanted, which I was really happy. So basically, if one of them wins the draft if one of them wins, I think I get to keep all the gift cards.
That's cool. I'm pretty sure we talked about this already, but that's cool.
Yeah. I think so.
But so we see the blue team is really struggling with getting their boulder out immediately. Blue team gets their boulder out immediately while yellow is struggling a bit. Blue does end up winning this comp. Shocker, it's mostly Luvu. And they get their first meal of the season, and they now have immunity at the first individual challenge. Luvu just unstoppable at this point. Like, they're just going to win fucking everything. So yeah, Evvie, Ricard, Sydney, Danny, and Deshawn have all allegedly won immunity. I say allegedly because of the twist, but those are all my notes, so you can go ahead and read the rest of yours.
All right. Jeff then explains to them that one of Erika or Naseer will join them with immunity. However, the other person will be taken to Exile Island and will stay there for 2 days and 2 nights. With no proper meal or buff, he gives them time to strategize. Danny admits this came down to rock, paper, scissors, and he ultimately chooses Naseer to join them.
Which, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think Naseer, like, I love Erika. I really am liking her on this show a lot.
Me too.
I drafted her and things like that, but I do feel like Naseer, for me, he's been like the main character of Luvu. Like, I feel like he's been the one that's in everyone's ear. I feel like everyone feels good with Naseer. There was that one point where they didn't feel good with him, but he's proven that, like, he's very loyal to the tribe. He's a really good asset to them. So this is why, like I said, I think Naseer is probably going to do the best out of everyone remaining in Luvu.
I feel like, Naseer actually has a good shot to win too.
I really do think he does. I could very well see him making it to the end. I think he has a very easy, steady path.
Jeff talks to Erika, who will now be on exile. She talks about how she had super suspicion she was at the bottom and that she was dead in the water between her and Naseer. She feels this is a nightmare scenario and didn't expect any of this to happen in the first 12 days of the game.
And I'm watching this and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to her? Like this poor girl, like having to go on this island like all by herself and like have to fend for herself for like 3 days, can't talk to anyone. Like I can't imagine what
that's literally what exile. That's literally all what exile is. They're just alone.
Yeah, no, I felt so bad. Like
me too. Everyone enjoys their feast, and Evvie talks about how not having rice makes such a dramatic difference within the game. There are many days where she eats 0 calories, and she brings up how they have eaten nothing in the past 3 days. Naseer is
I would literally go insane. I would not be able to function if I didn't eat in the past 3 days.
I know, we would be so like weak.
Yeah, no, I don't want to think about that.
Naseer is also very happy he has won this. Danny brings up how they didn't want to send in Naseer because a lot of the men have been voted out, but no one really wanted to explain that. So he just used rock, paper, scissors as a cover. He brings up how worried he is with all the men gone.
This is just not something I think he needs to stress about now. Like the merge is a whole new game. Look, I really do like Danny a lot. I think that he's a really nice guy. I think he's been really good for his tribe. But he really needs to get off of this. Like, we need to protect all the men. We need to get all the women out because, I mean, at this point, like, if you're worried the women are running the game, you go to the women and make deals. Like, that's what you do. Like, you talk to the women, you try to get them on your good side. That's how you should go about this. Don't make this like a men versus women thing because it's just not going to work. Don't. Most of the men this season, to be honest, are not that good. I think like Naseer Naseer, Danny, like, and Deshawn, they're probably the ones that I'm liking the most out of the men, but the majority of them are, and Ricard's good too, but even he's starting to like really waver for me in terms of like his strategy.
His game right now is just is very not great.
Yeah, it's not very good. So I think if he wants to continue this narrative, it's like you're asking yourself to be Pagans because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I also will say I was not I did not enjoy this feast that much, mainly because it was consisting of people I didn't really care that much about. So all the people I care about are on the other tribe.
Besides like Evvie and Naseer.
Well, yeah.
The losing team seems distraught, and the former women of Yasa talk things out, and Tiffany learns that Liana got the advantage, and Shan brings up that she didn't play it because she wanted her to have it. Liana decides to go ahead and tell Shan what her advantage is. Shan feels they need to get the idol off Naseer or Xander, and then both of them will have idols. Shan feels they need to lock in their alliance, and they both are excited to work together, which I'm very here for because I love them so much. Yeah.
I love that these two are working together. I think it's really going to benefit both of them moving forward. I think Liana especially like needs Shan right now, and I think that's really going to help her out. To be honest, though, I honestly think Liana is going to benefit this more from Shan because Shan just has so many connections at this point. I think Liana is probably in the stronger position moving forward. So
I think so too.
I'm very much here for this duo. I'd like if they are like the dominating force of the rest of this game, I'm fine with that. Like,
yes, we stand two powerful Black women.
Absolutely.
Tiffany feels she is very much at the bottom, especially with Shan and Liana going off to talk together. She asks her about the advantage, so Liana goes ahead and talks to her about it. She tells her she doesn't plan to use this against her or tell Evvie, but in reality, she wants to vote her out, knowing she doesn't really have her back and thinks she is too close to Xander.
Which I just don't understand, like, Tiffany here. Like, why does she think Liana is, like, close to Xander when Xander keeps talking about how much he wants to vote out Liana? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I think Tiffany has done some really good work, and I think that she's definitely, like, gotten her way. But this is where I'm like, you're literally voting off your ally. Like, what is the point?
Yeah, it's, like, a terrible move to go for Liana.
Yeah, I think Tiffany, a lot of people are thinking that like she's going to make it far. I just don't see it. I don't see it at this point. I feel like Tiffany, yeah, she's definitely gotten her way. I don't think she has the connections that some of these other people do. And I think people are also just going to be annoyed by Tiffany because she always wants to get her way. She's someone that like every tribe, she's going full force. And I think it's going to get really annoying to people. So yeah, I mean, I don't see Tiffany making it that much farther.
Me neither. They meet up with the winning team, and they are all very excited to meet each other. Naseer
Which was such a
compliments
great moment. I love getting to see all of them interact for the first time.
I love this so much.
Yeah.
Naseer compliments Xander for how much he's been dominating and claims he has his back. Xander is worried he is the only guy eligible to be voted out, but knows he has the extra vote and the immunity idol.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is someone that Xander didn't even have that much of a connection with. And then just from a few minutes of talking to Naseer, he's like his number one. So, like, this is why I really do think Naseer is going to go very far in this game because you have someone like Xander. Nobody's going to suspect this. Like, literally nobody is going to suspect those two are working together. And I think it's going to take Naseer very far. I don't know if Xander's going to handle it the best because, like I said, I don't think he's a good strategist. But I think Naseer is really going to benefit from this a lot. And I think this is really showing just how good he is at making connections.
Yes, I agree. Like, Naseer's doing really well socially.
Oh, yeah.
Danny talks to Xander and Naseer, and they agree Erika needs to go this round. Evvie talks to Tiffany.
So boring.
Oh, I know, I hate that. I like Erika.
Yeah.
Evvie talks to Tiffany and Sydney about the same thing, and they feel she is very much taking a spot away from them if she wins some kind of advantage.
Which I will say that logic does make sense, that it's like, she has this advantage. She does, now it's like, we didn't even get to talk to her, but it's like, I feel like there's so many better moves to make right now. The boring one is not exactly the ideal one, I think. I think Erika is someone that's not a threat, and I don't see a reason to take her out here. So,
yeah. Shan is fine with Erika going since she and Ricard are the only two left from their tribe. She feels the only person that's reliable is Liana, but also really wants to work with Danny and Deshawn. And since this has been the most diverse and inclusive season yet, she wants them all to get on the same page. They plan to keep it on the down low.
So we basically have another cookout on but it's Survivor, and I'm here for it. I'm very much here for it. I love I'm here for these four running the game. I think that especially, I've said it before, when you have a diverse cast on any game, it just makes the game a lot more fluid. And I think we're really going to see that from these four. The only thing I will say is I don't think Danny and Deshawn are going to be that loyal when it comes to this alliance. I think that their main priority is sticking with the guys. Danny especially seems very concerned about that. So, and I think that is going to hurt them. I don't think they're not going to want to target Shan Liana right from the jump, but I could very much see this being a situation where it's like, we got to go for the women. And if their names are brought up, they might just go for them because it's not a man. So I'm not entirely sure if this alliance will be as successful as say the cookout in Big Brother. I don't really see that happening here.
The cookout literally got to final 6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be on that level. I think that they're going to be loyal to each other, but I don't think Danny and Deshawn are as tight with those two as they think they are. So I think that could really hurt their alliance overall. But we'll see. I'm here for it. I want these four to work together. I definitely want to see, I definitely want to see, especially it'd be a really good alliance because these aren't people that have been working together up to this point. So I really do want to see that happen moving forward. And I think that would be really cool if they did. I'm just not sure if it's, if it's feasible and if it's actually going to happen. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Deshawn feels with having Deshawn feels with having a diverse cast. It bursts open. I don't know. I couldn't talk for a second, apparently.
A divi cast.
It bursts open a ton of possibilities, and they would be foolish to not work together.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense, definitely. I think they're definitely making the right move and working together. Again, I just don't know if it's really going to work out, especially with what we get here. Let's get
Yeah, we'll
into
see.
this madness with this twist. So we go to Exile Island and we see Erika. She talks about how this was number one on her list of things she didn't want to happen to her on Survivor. She does get some rice, but she has very little food or shelter. She's unsure if she's going to be able to do this with very little outdoor experience. And we get a little bit more into Erika's backstory. We see how she actually grew up in Canada. Oh, your neck of the woods, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But she always looked different from the other kids, and knowing how many challenges her parents had, she knows it hurts that they didn't have as much time with her growing up, but everything they did set her up to achieve these skills that she wanted to. She's used to things not being handed to her and knows how to get through it. She sees it as a love letter to her parents, that everything she did gave her a reason to survive. She hopes if she can survive, she will in fact play like a lion. And I thought this was a really good moment for Erika. I will agree that I think she's had kind of a purple edit, and they really haven't done that much. They've done more with her than, say, like Heather, but we haven't really gotten anything with Erika until now. So I do think she really did benefit from being on this, because we get a little bit more into her. What did you think of this segment with Erika?
I really enjoyed and loved this segment. I just thought it was really wholesome of her to talk about her story and her family and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really important moment for her, and I don't think she's really getting a purple edit. She's just not really getting a huge edit. Obviously, the purple edit's more Heather. I feel like this. Definitely. She's kind of just She's kind of just the underrated edit in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I kind of feel like she could be a dark horse.
Yeah, definitely. I think that she is really going to emerge, especially after this, because we see Jeff and this boat arrives, and oh my God, there's Jeff Probst, and he looks at her fire, talks about how it's the main thing that kept her sane throughout all this, and he then brings up how in sending her out here, what they didn't know is that they gave her tremendous power. And so he presents her with this hourglass, and the black sand represents the time that has already passed. If she wants, she can leave the game in its natural state, or she can go back in time and change history, and has the power to reverse the outcome of yesterday's challenge, and those who have immunity would have it completely stripped away from them. And she would be safe along with the other 6 who would have a spot in the final 11. So it's kind of like a redo, but it's not, because it's basically a reverse, essentially.
Pretty much.
So basically, if she wants to change the outcome, she can smash the hourglass, and she has until tomorrow morning to make this decision. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's very powerful, so but I feel like she kind of has to use it, or else she's really fucked.
Oh yeah.
At least she would be safe if she used it, but I mean, obviously it would piss off the rest of the people, which would probably screw her over the next round, but we'll see.
The thing is, I don't think she has a choice here. I think if you have any way to save yourself, you have to fucking smash that thing. So I don't see any scenario when she doesn't. If she doesn't, I'll be very surprised.
Same.
So yeah, that's my other thing, is that I don't know why we ended this on a cliffhanger, because I think it was pretty obvious what she's going to do. If there was a little bit more risk to it, let's say she smashes the hourglass, but she's still vulnerable, she's not safe. Then that changes things up a bit. But I mean, there's no risk here. She's safe. The game basically is reversed at that point. I just don't think that there's any choice. I think she has to smash this no matter what. So I just don't understand why they even spent time on it. I like the idea, mainly because I want the other tribe to be safe. I prefer the people on the other tribe. So
same.
It's not that I don't like, Naseer and Danny and Deshawn, because I do. It's just everyone else and Evvie, but everyone else I don't really like all that much that's on that tribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely
I think Kevin's internet went out for a second. Oh, Okay, he's back.
All right, I'm back. Yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that I think your internet went out for a second.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens. But yeah, I was gonna say, I think that there isn't much risk to this at all. I think that the other tribe, I will say, the one thing that does make me very excited is that I think Sydney's probably gonna go if it's the other tribe.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't see many scenarios in which she doesn't, because I think that Sydney's not like Deshawn's number one.
It would be iconic that Erika basically did this so Sydney can go because she wanted
pretty
to
much. Yeah, I mean, I think Sydney is probably going to be the merge boot here if it like switches, because I don't see Danny going, I don't see Deshawn going. Why Evvie I don't see going, like
no, and Naseer.
Yeah, Naseer's not. I don't think there's many other options except for Sydney at that point. So
yeah,
I think she probably is going here, which I'm perfectly fine with, because at this point, like, I just don't like her at all. So yeah, that's how we end things.
And I think you missed the last part.
I don't need to read that. It's not important.
Oh, it just says she feels this is complicated since the majority of the people that have immunity were on her original tribe, and she may have to burn bridges with people to secure her own safety.
Which I can sum it up as, it's not complicated. It's not at all. Like, this is not, that's probably something the editors told her to say. Like, that it is not a complicated decision at all. Mm-hmm. And if she thinks it does, I don't know why. I don't know why she would think this is complicated, because this is a very easy decision.
Excited. I'm actually so excited to see this next episode, which is actually later today.
Yes, I'm excited to see how it plays out, and we can actually get a tribal and things to talk about, because right now, there's not much to talk about. It seems like, honestly, if it's the other team, I couldn't even tell like who they wanted to target. Like, they didn't really give out a solid name. I know Tiffany wants to go for Liana, but I don't really know who they would target on that other team besides Erika. So I don't know.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap things up here?
Just excited for the next episode and the rest of the season, and also stay tuned for our Spotlight premieres.
Yes, it's 1 week from Friday. 1 week from Friday, we will be having our Spotlight premiere. Very excited for it. We've put a lot of effort into this game. There's a lot of cool stuff that is on the way. Also, don't know if you guys know, but we have made an official Spotlight YouTube channel. So you will be getting some updates on there. There's already like a premiere. There's already like a sort of like a announcement video and things like that. So you guys can check that out. It's not that great. I made it in like a minute. It's not that great of a video, but it's something.
Everything you do is great.
I don't know about that. Thank you. But tribals are going to be on there. There'll be other stuff on there. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff on that channel. So definitely head on over to Spotlight Survivor if you want to get some updates for our game, because it's going to be great.
Woo!
But also, you can look forward to our continuing coverage of Ascendance Live. Also, I do want to say, we were originally planning to cover the season of the Penthouse, but I don't know what's going on with that now. So I don't even know if we're going to be end up watching that.
We were thinking of like covering it, but like we haven't even watched the episodes yet.
No.
So like maybe we'll watch them together and just cover the full season when it's back. Who knows?
I watched one clip and it's very promising. It makes me want to watch the rest. So I will say that. But aside from that one clip, I have not seen much of the Penthouse at all.
Me neither.
If you're wondering our thoughts on that, we will probably cover it if it does end up coming back. I'm assuming they'll probably come back at some point, but I know it's very complicated, so we'll see what happens there. Other than that, that's basically it for our review.
And also stay tuned for a meeting with Mally where we cover Dancing with the Stars and also the Messing Urban.
Yes, that as well. A lot of great stuff going on with me and with Mally. Other than that, guys, that's it for our review of this week's episode of Survivor, as well as this episode of A Conversation with Kely. Of course, as always, thank you guys for watching. I don't think anybody's watching this right now because it's fucking 3 a.m, but who cares?
Actually, I think that I remember, since I'm like obviously on your account, it shows that there was like one person watching, but it might have just been like us. Who knows?
I think it might have just been us. Yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in our next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good night.